Welcome to this introductory video exploring the 7 ups: growing up, waking up, cleaning up, opening up, showing up, offering up, and brightening up, through a series of contemplative segments inspired by the new book Meta-Perennial Philosophia by Bradley Keith Reynolds. Drawing on Ken Wilber's integral teachings, especially his book Finding Radical Wholeness, the 7 ups offer a shorthand framework for understanding the practices and processes that integrate human development with the spiritual realization of divine enlightenment, the highest possibility of human life. What if spiritual growth and enlightenment are not the same thing? What if waking up does not produce awakening, and awakening does not replace development? For decades, integral theory has mapped how consciousness grows and evolves. The great non-dual traditions reveal what we truly are and what reality truly is. Yet these two streams have often been confused or collapsed into one another, including within integral theory itself. Meta-Perennial Philosophia introduces the 7 ups, a framework that integrates evolutionary maturity with radical divine recognition, without reducing one to the other, because the path is not merely about growing up or waking up the separate self. It is about offering up the self to the truth of our shared divine reality, and finally, brightening up until all is outshined in the love bliss and radiant light of real God, the ultimate reality in which all relative realities arise, exist, and fall away.
In his book, Meta-Perennial Philosophia, Integrating Evolution and Enlightenment, integral philosopher Bradley Keith Reynolds has expanded Ken Wilber's well-known sequence of growing up, waking up, opening up, cleaning up, and showing up by adding both offering up and brightening up. He argues that all 7 ups are essential for integrating the 2 arcs of reality, evolution or becoming, and enlightenment or being. These 7 ups are not merely capacities or discrete practices, but interrelated vectors of transformation that bring together the developmental sophistication of Ken Wilber's integral theory with the radical non-dual divine recognition articulated by Adi Da and the world's non-dual enlightenment traditions. The 7 ups articulate how human beings grow, awaken, purify, open, serve, surrender, and ultimately release the ego I into the divine condition of being. In this sense, the 7 ups represent a synthesis of developmental and non-dual dimensions within the meta-perennial framework. They integrate the evolutionary growth of the human being with the relational, non-developmental awakening of divine recognition. The 7 ups provide a contemporary articulation of transformative life, one that honors maturation while preserving the immediacy of enlightenment beyond all stages or states. Let's begin with growing up and review each of the 7 ups, one at a time.
Beginning with growing up refers to the progressive maturation of the cognitive, emotional, moral, and interpersonal capacities that develop across a person's lifespan. Growing up does not produce enlightenment, but it profoundly shapes how spiritual insights are interpreted and embodied. Without adequate development, even genuine mystical experiences become susceptible to misinterpretation, inflation, and egoic distortion. In the meta-perennial view, structural maturation is not synonymous with enlightenment itself. It provides the psychological and relational stability necessary for true spiritual life. Adi Da introduces the disciplines that he calls right life, which are about the intelligent management of the basic areas of human existence: food, sex, money, work, bodily health, emotional maturity, and relational responsibility. the first 3 stages of life. These disciplines, practiced throughout all of the great traditions, harmonize the body-mind, reduce reactive conflict, and establish stability for deeper practice. Within Meta-Perennial Philosophy, spiritual life becomes viable only when the body-mind is sufficiently matured or grown up to participate consciously in transpersonal practices involving ego transcendence and self-surrender, later clarified as offering up and brightening up.
Now, let's turn to waking up. Waking up, in Wilber's integral model, refers to the universal states of consciousness shared by all human beings and across all of the contemplative traditions. These include 1. The gross or ordinary waking state. 2. The subtle states of visionary, archetypal, and devotional experiences. 3. The pure formlessness of the causal. And 4. The non-dual state of oneness, and ultimately, the identity of awareness itself with all arising. However, from the meta-perennial perspective, the term waking up has been used inconsistently in contemporary integral discourse. In some contexts, it refers to contemplative states. In others, it is used interchangeably with enlightenment or ultimate truth. This slippage has led to confusion between transpersonal unity and divine recognition. Experiences of unity consciousness, the felt sense that we are one with everything, belong to the spectrum of nature mysticism or cosmic consciousness. These are profound states of unity with the cosmos, yet they remain experiential conditions arising for a separately identified subject. A subtle subject-object structure remains, an experiencer unified with the world. This is not enlightenment. Divine recognition does not preserve this structure. It is not the realization that everything is one, nor that I am one with everything, but the radical recognition that the separate self never existed apart from the divine condition in the first place. I am one with the source of everything, not merely one with everything. No state, however luminous, can dissolve the egoic self-contraction at its primal root. States occur within consciousness. Divine recognition reveals the condition of consciousness itself. For this reason, Meta-Perennial Philosophy distinguishes between waking up as gaining access to various transpersonal states, whereas awakening, or brightening up, is the non-developmental recognition of the divine ground of being itself. This preserves Wilber's mapping of various states while restoring the non-dual precision pointed to by the Enlightenment traditions. Waking up states can open perception and loosen habitual identity, but they do not dissolve the root gesture of egoity. Psychological maturity provides stability and ethical grounding, yet it cannot confer divine recognition. Spiritual life, therefore, requires both the refinement of becoming and the transcendental priority of being, without collapsing one into the other.
Next, let's turn to the all-important task of cleaning up. Cleaning up refers to healing and integrating repressed emotions, unconscious patterns, and early developmental wounding that shape the ego's defensive architecture. It ensures that spiritual practice does not bypass unresolved psychological material. Cleaning up strengthens the foundation of growing up by bringing unconscious material into awareness, so the individual may inhabit a more coherent sense of self. Without this integration, mystical states risk reinforcing egoic patterns and the egoic self-contraction in unhealthy and destructive ways. Cleaning up best unfolds through somatic grounding, emotional repair, parts work, relational attunement, archetypal integration, and moral clarity. Shadow material is not seen as negative, but unintegrated. When these layers realign, vitality and clarity return. Through right life and honest self-examination, These habitual patterns are brought into awareness and released. This reduces reactivity, stabilizes the nervous system, and prepares the practitioner for deeper spiritual surrender.
Next is opening up. Opening up emphasizes the cultivation of multiple intelligences or lines, such as the cognitive, emotional, interpersonal, somatic, moral, aesthetic, spiritual, ecological, and more. Human development is uneven. Opening up calls for balanced integration, so spiritual life rests on a stable foundation. These lines unfold within the arc of becoming, but influence the capacity to respond to the adept's heart transmission, and stabilize within divine recognition and communion. Emotional intelligence supports surrender. Moral intelligence supports alignment. Somatic intelligence supports meditative stability. Opening up, therefore, harmonizes body, mind, and emotion. Without it, practice becomes lopsided, mystical, without grounding, or psychological, without transcendence. With it, the practitioner becomes a coherent vessel for spiritual life and in becoming fully human. In this light, opening up extends the growing up vector by ensuring rhythmic, balanced growth across multiple lines. It harmonizes the body, mind, and emotional life, preparing the practitioner for deeper spiritual processes. Although these lines unfold within the arc of becoming, they influence the capacity to respond to the adept's heart transmission and to stabilize divine recognition.
Now, let's turn to showing up. Showing up concerns how insight becomes embodied in the world through ethical action, relational presence, ecological awareness, and compassionate service. Adidar also places profound emphasis on relational and ethical participation as essential to spiritual practice. In his 7 stages of life model, the 4th stage of life inaugurates true spiritual life precisely because the individual becomes capable of relational responsibility, emotional vulnerability, and feeling-based intimacy. In this sense, showing up is a natural extension of right life, or of engaging in the discipline of living without exploitation, self-contraction, or reactivity. Thus, showing up becomes a sacred practice enacted through responsibility, service, love, and non-reactive presence. Spiritual growth, in other words, must transform participation in life. Ethical responsiveness is not an optional extra, but the natural expression of divine recognition embodied in becoming. Showing up thus expresses awakened intelligence circulating into the world as compassionate participation.
We now move beyond Wilber's classic 5-ups to offer the meta-perennial clarification, beginning with offering up. Offering up marks the shift from self-directed seeking to heartfelt, relational surrender. The heart opens beyond self-centered autonomy into devotional participation in the all-pervading field of divine being itself. Such offering up, or ego surrender, is not passivity, but intentional self-yielding toward the radiant divine presence. The practitioner recognizes that the ego cannot attain the real by effort alone. Spiritual life unfolds through relational submission to the divine as presence, ideally embodied as a genuine guru. Offering up, therefore, bridges becoming and being. It matures humility, deepens compassion, and establishes receptivity to grace. The strategies of self-improvement give way to trust in the divine's already present power. Yet offering up is preparatory. It purifies and softens, but does not itself accomplish radical ego transcendence. It orients the whole being toward divine recognition, or in what's called brightening up, the complete fulfillment of divine communion in the present, here and now.
Last is brightening up. Brightening up is the great completion, the moment-to-moment dissolution of self-contraction or the transcendence of the ego in the radiant immediacy of the divine source condition, or the simple presence of being itself. It does not arise through effort or through developmental unfolding. It is ever-present divine recognition. When the body-mind rests in natural harmony, when breath, feeling and attention move together, the heart becomes transparent. Fear and grasping release. The whole being stands open to the radiant divine presence, outshining all obstructions to love and happiness. Brightening up is the dissolution of separateness in the very moment and instant it is felt, a wordless surrender into the divine being that is always already the case. It is the freedom and love bliss of being lived by consciousness itself. Thus, brightening up is the tacit intuition of prior unity, the direct participation in the divine condition without intermediary states, methods, or stages. Brightening up is therefore the consummation of the Meta-Perennial vision, the transcendence of the ego in the radiant immediacy of the divine reality that is always already the case, made possible through the adept's heart transmission, and realized as the effortless, non-seeking participation in the prior unity of reality itself as it is.
Taken together, the 7 ups articulate a model that is developmental, psychological, relational, devotional, and non-dual. Transformation requires both becoming, the maturation of the body-mind, and being, the transcendence of egoity through divine recognition. The 7 ups unfold like petals of one spiritual flower. Development stabilizes the ground. Shadow work clears the roots. Contemplation opens inner space. Ethical action extends fragrance into the world. Devotion turns toward the light. And brightening up dissolves the final boundary between seeker and the one who is sought. The 7 ups, as a whole, reveal a life that is evolutionary in expression, yet timeless in essence. A life that grows, serves, and returns to its source. The path culminates where it began, in the heart's innate capacity to recognize the divine being that is always already the case, shining as consciousness itself, as eternal love, bliss itself, the radiant presence of real God, or true Buddha nature.
Thank you for engaging this overview of the 7 ups of Meta-Perennial Philosophia. Such a comprehensive synthesis would not be possible without the groundbreaking integral theories of Ken Wilber and his many collaborators, together with the vast contributions of modern psychology and developmental research. Special acknowledgement is due to Adida Samraj, whose radical analysis of the egoic self-contraction, what he called radical understanding, distills the wisdom of thousands of years of spiritual practice carried forward by awakened adepts, women and men alike, across countless cultures and centuries. This living inheritance belongs to all humanity. It points toward divine recognition in this very lifetime, so that human beings may participate fully in reality, yet without the grasping and self-contraction that generates suffering. May all who encounter these teachings be blessed to realize their deepest potential and to inhabit the farthest reaches of human nature.
You can get Meta-Perennial Philosophia on Amazon.com, also available as a Kindle ebook.